cell phones and noise-making devices. The use of flash photography or any recording device is prohibited. In case of an emergency, please wait for instructions. 3 exits are clearly marked in the back of the theater. Before we begin, let us pause and thank our Lord for all we have. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Dear God, thank you for blessing these young men and women with their wonderful gifts and talents. Thank you for bringing us together this evening to enjoy what you have given us. Help these actors to perform to the best of their ability. In your most holy and precious name, Jesus, we pray. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Enjoy the show.
River City, next station stop.
You're crazy with the heat. Credit is no good for a notion salesman.
Boards, all aboard.
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Ansville salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Ha! Nor anyone else.
River City next.
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the firkins.
Cash for the hog's head. Cash and demi-john. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly paper.
Look, what do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can picker, you can talk, you can picker, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk, picker, you can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No,
gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the Model T Ford. Made the trouble, made the people wanna go. Wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bicker, you can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was. No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit, make the trouble.
You need a, put the crackers in a package, The you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with a mail pouch cut off, torn by the stove. Changed the approach of a traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory. Gone with the hogshead, cask and demi-john. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
Hill? No! Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill. Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory?
What's the fella's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line?
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete. Or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat, bell ringing, big haul, great go, necker nuts and rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Tell us what's his line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniforms too with the shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's heart.
No, the fella sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies, and he gathers, and he plucks, and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he doesn't know the territory.
River City. We're across the state line to Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigarettes are illegal in this state, but...
Now, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
I never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us the black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered.
rode out the city limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Hair never grows back.
Well, why is he rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach them kids how to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with that swindling two-bit thimble rigger when I do all squeal on him so loud.
You're mad, Charlie. She'll like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't dare try to sell to them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out there.
Aboard! All aboard! Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I might have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name. Harold Hill!
it is, if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And there I was in the Madison Hospital, and no one come to see me. Cousin Will never come. Aunt Bertha never come.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
She wouldn't have come anyway.
We've been cold as a falling thermometers in December. If you ask about our weather in July, and we're so wide, not stubborn, we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirts and a bat to go with it. If your crop should happen to die.
But what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us, even though we may not ever mention it again.
You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Denver, Washington, Mississippi, Cleveland, Gates, Clear Lake. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires? Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Then I expect you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late, as usual.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus!
Ah, how are you, you old son of a gun? But, Greg,
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
but Greg, I thought, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I didn't know myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got myself a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
Yeah. So, what's the pitch? Oh, no, you're not back in the band business. I thought you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
Well, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
So, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Oh, you'll never get anywhere with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, We got a stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. If she comes by, point her out to me.
I will. How are you going to start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep your music teacher off her balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble that it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I need to create a desperate need for a boys band. You remember what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Oh, but the billiard parlor just opened a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Marks. And don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Excuse me, are you Mr. Dunlop?
Yep.
Either you are closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hands are golden. Help you cultivate a horse sense, and a cool head, and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad leave to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-playing game, I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big steps on the road to the depths of degradé. Say first, it's a little medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper hear him talk about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they sit right down on a horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch make your blood boil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum, with a capital B and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. Say, your young men will be frittering away. Their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket. Never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door patch or the beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Oh, we've got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbockers. Sure, tell young ones peeking in the pool hall window after school, you got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? Maybe trying out Bevo, trying out Cubabs, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a tall tale breath with sense. One fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the armory. Libertine men and scarlet women and ragtime, shameless music that'll drag your son and your daughter with the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the adult brains, the devil's playground, trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed this warning before it's too late. Watch for the tall tale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes out of Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversations? Words like swell. And so is your old man. Well, if so, my friends, We got trouble. Right here in River City. With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we've got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool. Oh, yes, we've got trouble, trouble, trouble. With the T, gotta rhyme it with P, and that stands for pool.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, who?
Well, I never saw him before.
Well, did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So dull, rates he a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted, Mama.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Has anyone else in this town?
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people. It's taking it all too much too hard.
Now, Mama, as long as the massive public library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural capital, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if she can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
The suitcase of baby, your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I allow a common fashion? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who can hope to measure up to that. Bishop Hall, Bernard St. Catching all, Pussy, Eagle, Controversy, and your Irish imagination, your Irish stars, and your library full of books.
Well, that is the best I've ever heard.
Thank you! Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a...
May I have a drink, please?
You may.
Winthrop, it's after dark. So I better walk into the house.
Hello.
Well, that won't do at all. I have a kiss for a boy. The lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Adrian!
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it if you come, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going, aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I bet he won't even say it. No, thank you, Amaryllis. He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not just because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's just part of the problem.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you? And your mother?
No, dear, we all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the Evening Star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, darling. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never! I'll end up as old maid like you.
I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play my...
May I play my crosshand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right. It's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining its brightest light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone. Good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone. Good night. Good night. Good
to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. As Mayor of River City, I welcome you, River Citizens, to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 7 music. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanyi girls of the local wigwam of Hiawatha present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to the city! $4.7. The Pains fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompey Eye, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the far meadow, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
You wouldn't last very long in the banking business, being accurate most of the time.
You know,
Now, just a minute. Let's have order here.
Order!
Looks like number 8's late again tonight.
She's always late.
I'd make her early.
She's right on time. Smart at your watch.
Now, will you members of the school board to stop bickering in public?
All in the world that I
Then
said.
never mind! $4.7 years ago, our father's
table in town.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Now, just a minute.
Well, is there a pool table or isn't there?
Will you allow me to get on with the exercises?
We will not continue with the exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children.
Yes!
Resist sin and corruption.
Yes!
Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with your trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize a River City Boys Band. Oh, just think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls are coming tumbling down. Oh, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys' band. Do you hear me? River City's gotta have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets, tantara, and you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore, Liberace, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade. with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom, timpani, and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering, louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a whole octave higher than the score.
Emergency action. That man is a spellbinder. I haven't seen Iowa people get so excited since the night Fred Koch and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Oh, never mind. I want his credentials. Oh, you grabbed that hoodlum. He was blue Mr. Shin.
Thank you, Professor. Have to be an example out of this one. Ring leader, you know. What he does, his gang does.
Julie Clyde, let me go.
You wild kid, you hanging around my oldest girl. His father's one of them day laborers south of town. You wild kid, you tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Oh, don't you contradict me!
We was just walking together, Julie Clyde.
Now you watch your phraseology. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie seen you. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me, the two who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Men, I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Oh, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Professor, you don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got his gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever done anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did. You're my man. Do you know no one has ever invented a music holder for the marching piccolo player? There's no place to hold the music.
Oh, Julie Clyde, wonder where I could get some wire from.
Check your cellar, that's where people keep wire. Oh, and Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Young lady. Yes, young miss. What's your name?
Anita, I didn't have any idea he was beckoning to me. You God.
Do you know Tommy Giles?
Oh, well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
only reckoning. I wasn't going home. I've got to go to the library. You God.
Then escort the young lady home by the way of the library. By the way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
You God.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fella. Made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. Well, what was my second mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Excuse me, Professor Hill. We need your credentials. We are the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make a put of a bomb.
No. Gentlemen, what am I hearing? Say, ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man.
All right, talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see, singing is just sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you right here. Ice cream. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. These men have hated each other for more than 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Tell me what can be there in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love? We're
I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the streets like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the people in this town. And I think it's only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you. Hey, Gregory!
Hi, Marcellus. Don't call me Greg.
Oh, how'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
Oh boy, did you cut a swath tonight. For a second, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Yeah, but that's just kid stuff. I'm in a rare form these days, son. Just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
Wait, 4 weeks? But it used to only take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg, you've added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music teacher. Not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
I have a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't even have to bother with the notes.
But the minute they don't want to hear music, you'll need to be the leader of a boys' band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. I have it timed down to the last wave of the brakeman's hands on the last train out of town. Now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Ho ho ho! Gonna go line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
Oh, I could line you up with Ethel's sister. Oh, she's a lovely girl. She teaches Sunday school.
Oh, no. No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider ever. Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I on. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Bright-eyed, blushing, breathless, baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop. I flinch and I shy when the lass with the delicate air walks by. I smile and I grin when the gal with a touch of sin walks in. And I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Pianola girl, and this is Mrs. Squires, and Mrs. Hicks, and of course, you've met Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, our mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say, oh no, I couldn't say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure, and naturally, I'm reticent. Oh, how I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance. No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. With your foot, the way you just raised it.
Well, I have a bung in there that bothers.
Oh, what grace. What natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill!
You must accept chairmanship of the Ladies Auxiliary for the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sart. Will you, Mrs. Shin? Will you? Please say yes.
Eulalie McKechnie-Shin. Dancing. Well.
Then you accept.
Yes, and I would like to...
Thank you. Now, for the young lady who plays the piano, Miss Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk, cheap, 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 cheap.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. Of course, I shouldn't say this, but she advocates dirty cheeks. Come on, sir.
She made praise and overtures to a man who had not a friend in this town until she came here, old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. And who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, a show-off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city, but he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That woman made brazen overtures with a gilt edge guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver voice with a counterfeit ring. Just melt her down and you'll reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer. Pick a little more, pick a little more, cheep, 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 pick a little, pick a little,
Of course, gentlemen. I have just what you need over at my hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make a difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young, and anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Please, no explanations, no apologies, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I already have.
Well, what would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
You're not listening, Marion. Look. Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big glassy with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Shh. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademan had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to catch your ear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if I busted my whatchamacallit. I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song. With the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian such as Marion. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian, Marion, it's a long lost cause. I can never win, for the civilized world accepts his unforgivable sin. And you're talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. The ladies' dance committee meets on Tuesday nights. Marshmallow, Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I'll tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you go home and get some supper?
Goodbye, Professor.
Thank you, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells, and this particular specimen has an unusual tone.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Say, why haven't you been down at City Hall with your references?
Just missed you, No, wait. Mr. Mayor, your hand. Oh, no.
What? The what?
The spread of your little finger. It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
That means your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those horns?
Sign right here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just think I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any, son! You unscrupulous fly-by-night! You unflapulous, you! You be down at City Hall with your by-God papers at 3 o'clock.
Do you mean this afternoon?
Couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on this day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize you are the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Well, not that he could ever be really good, you understand.
Oh, is that so? What in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all really great cornet players are Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Clyde.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No. No, really. Well, that clinches it, Mrs. Peru. Sign right here. Your son was born to play the cornet. Thank you. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more payable until the first installment at the beginning of band practice. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform!
How you doing, son? Of course, his uniform. And not a penny due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to anticipate, to imagine, and to enjoy, at no cost whatsoever. Never let the demands of tomorrow interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have a
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
Oh, you'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you can get him to play the band, you'll have St. Michael's on your way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hard-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-ran, harp-playing, maronine, pension, terrace hall, minstrel singing Irishman. Be gone, be jobbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Yes, gold medal class of '05. Oh, how do you do, Miss Peru?
How do you do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. You know, I tried to see you the other night.
He wants to play Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, if it were have his father's musical gift, he does have my jaw, you know.
Your husband musical? Well, I'd love to have a talk with him. I'm sure that we could talk some...
Have you burst on everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why don't we let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. But all the better reason for your brother to
My
have
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And about your musical trips? Why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Miss Marion, I hardly... I get the feeling she likes the idea. A little cautious at first, but I admire that little woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later this week.
And Professor?
Yes.
About the boy's measurements, I'll make all of his clothes, waist 18, crotch 14, sleeve 21.
Thank you, that's all I need. Now I must be getting back to my hotel.
And Professor, about Marion, she's not really...
Please, don't worry about a thing. I'm sure at heart she's just as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has. And I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of '05. Oh, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and a steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Mrs. Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a big brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Oh, we're too young too. Why do you need books this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gabbage, that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for some knights in shiny white armor either.
My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by. Walk and love him till I die. Till
Sanita! Hey, Sanita!
Tommy, Mama and Papa are sitting right there in the bank. He does.
All right, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Epworth League night. Okay, meet you where?
The footbridge.
Isn't that just what I said? First the lumberyard, now the footbridge, and where will you meet me next? The black hole at Calcutta? Be gone!
I only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for a marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. You see, when you keep it tight enough to keep the music steady, it cuts off the circulation, and you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said, morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is out dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home.
Now,
The
George!
school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl is out boodling around with some wild kid. And my business has fallen off so far, I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater,
His who?
his university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of 5.
If you would just take the time to read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look much further. It's on page...
Papa! The Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot.
The Wells Fargo wagon? A likely story. At this time of the day, nonsense. I mean, the Wells Fargo wagon. The band instruments.
The Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street, so please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. I got a box of maple sugar for my birthday. And I got a great wagon
Gentlemen, you'll each receive individual instruction in due course. But in the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Brought one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better hear some by God tooting out them horns in pretty short order. I'll see you over in the grand jury in front of the county seat. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George. Tempest Fusions.
You watch your physiology and get along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. Now, about that book.
The ladies' dance committee meets on Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely ladies. Lovely. Remember to take the body with you. Lovely ladies. Lovely. And now let us try our Grecian bird. One Grecian bird. Lovely ladies. Lovely. Feel it move within you. Lovely ladies. Lovely. And now, let us go to Grecian arts. Lovely ladies. Lovely. Lovely ladies. Lovely. I imagine that our Del Sarte display will be the highlight of this year's ice cream social. Now, gentlemen, if you're ready. Now, ladies, remember, don't make me tell you again. Always keep your face towards the audience. Now, Mr. Dunlop, if you will.
It's you in the sunrise, it's you in my cup. It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello here that sets me off. And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow with all of my dreams. Till once the morning breaks what words could be said, or truer or plainer than it's you. Yes, it's you. Yes, it's
Please, kids! Mrs. Singh will have my head!
Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
Oh, well, if you think you can handle these kids, go ahead!
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new moves Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
The Shapoopy!
Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy, and a woman who'll kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground, she's the girl he's glad he's found. She
beg for certain. Once more in the flower garden, she will never get sore if you beg her pardon. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. If you gotta squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pepper upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper. Now little old Sal was a no gal, as anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once when she isn't looking. If you gotta squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pepper upper, she will never get sore on her way to supper. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
Mayor Shane, your daughter and I are going to study behind your back.
You?
We'd rather be doing it in front of your back.
Do what? Never mind.
Zanita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you. Dealey Clyde.
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter again, I'll by God horsewhip you until hell would happen again.
Now, George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peep.
Yes. And now, get out of this public building.
I have as much right to be in a public building as anybody.
Right? How do you have any right around here, aiding and abetting the swindling activities of this spellbinding civil salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out! Get out, you wild kid!
Papa, please! It's Capulets like you make blood in the marketplace. Get gone!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. You, Laylee.
Yes, George.
You tend to your dance. I'll handle Zanita, taking up with wild kids alongside town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now and couldn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl.
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be waiting in line to shake his hand the day our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, The individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of all the broken legs they'll get from tripping over the beards. I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered, my feathered young, never mind. Oliver, JC, Ewart, Oliver. I want this man's references and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
So, you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, no, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little bit of personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. Unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty upset on account of his billiard table. Oh, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself would help, but I can never ask of a thing like that from you.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would.
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
This cornet, mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine. But you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet and dee-dee-da-dee-da almost constantly.
La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see.
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well, that's not...
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Now, Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I will admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens. Columbus's conception of the egg, globe. Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I can't discuss these things here in public, but if you allow me to call it, what can I call it?
Maybe that this week.
Great.
Miss Brew, please join our Jumpstart committee.
We're so dear tonight. Can't take the show. Pick a little, Professor Hill. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep.
You danced like a fairy princess with the moonbeam for your floor. You had golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold a forgiving heart of purest gold. Here, where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moonbeam floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now unfold, heart of gold. Here, where a woman's heart should be. Professors told us to read these books and be simply adorable. Chaucer,
Sorry, Professor, but we've got our orders. We've all been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. Now, let's see. You know, all week I've tried to give you fellas my recommendations, but you always seem to get off subject somehow. Now, I have just what you need up in my hotel room. Just take me a second.
I'm afraid I'll have to go with you, sir.
Yes, well, let's just see if I have my key. What's this? A testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player ever to play on the Red Path circuit. That was her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lyda Rose Quackenbush.
May I see that?
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Same as the old song, Lyda Rose. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Lyda Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, as the least
arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, I do. Oh, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now, nothing. And if he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel.
Tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Listen!
Fishing?
With Harold!
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm, and look, I still have the words left.
Did you have a good time?
Thrilled. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that hardly has any S in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one heart that can lie my man. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris at the Yoker Room. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one heart that can lie my man. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris at the Yoker Room. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I'll be back in a minute. I have to show Amarillo sign I've brought. La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Then you should be dressed for the sociable.
There's time later.
The Shins live around here somewhere.
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Criminy. I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow Hill forming a boys band here.
Yes?
Well, don't you worry no more. I got the goods on him in spades, that swindling two-bit thimble rigger. Well, that's why I gotta see Shin. Just passing through, though. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. Sure would like to concentrate 5 more minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
The name's Charlie Cowell. Anvil salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover? That fella's been the raspberry seed of my wisdom tooth just long enough. He's spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of piano teacher are you? Didn't you see right through him? Why, he's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director at Scholastic.
No, wait a minute. A fine director. Have you heard one note of music? From any band?
Well, no, but
But nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. Sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with someone on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never catch that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've gotta leave word, and I consider you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute. Mr. Cowell, you don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. I just meant I don't know you, and...
Yes. And I need more time anyway.
I mean as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
It takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? I missed that train, I'll get fired, and I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill.
Leave her with me.
Not in your tin type, girly girl. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little. Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every one of them. That's 102 counties, not counting little piano teachers like you he coasts up to, just to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you has heard the last of me, girly girl.
Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to come.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I'm not inferring that your invitation meant anything except academic enlightenment. The think system, I've been by your house a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am? Well, evidently it's not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I'm trying to say is,
Yes.
is it really true that you developed a think system?
A what? A think system. Yes, it's quite simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips while whistling. You just think the tune and it comes out right here. Now, try this before you say anything.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers.
Well, I dare say even dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have it with the think system?
Some more, some less. One young lady had thought up the same system before I even got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you must have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
I can't think of one.
And I must be a very dull company for a man of your experience.
Oh, say, where would you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors about traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, one shouldn't jump to conclusions. One hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe
No,
that...
of course not. That's what I'm saying. But why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness. Jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I suppose.
Jealousy, exactly. And jealousy often starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Just that, but it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you for instance, your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might be easily misinterpreted, mightn't they? Now honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so if you say another salesman or somebody were jealous, then they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear. If you discuss things...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but could we do it sitting down? Your knees do bend and all.
We could sit on the porch.
We could sit on a large hollow log over the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got stress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a bunch of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make tonight worth remembering.
No. So would I.
The footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama? Mama? What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Oh, glory be to Stacy, praise it works!
What does?
I've been using the thing system on you from the parlor.
People are gonna be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Oh, here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect the rest. He's trying to keep the kids together at least, pretending to hold practice over in the rail yard.
All right, Mars, kick the ring.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Hey, look, you want to turtle whirtle around here, get yourself caught up in a bunny trap, you be my guest.
Mars, I'll be at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, I should say 26 years late. It took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fellow.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
No, surely, Miss Marion, you don't believe I've been trying to sell you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving you anything.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there'll be many more, but that doesn't mean I can't be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw
was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Marion, there's a lot of things you don't know about me.
Hey, Craig!
Excuse me, I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. Just take me a second. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Looks like she's selling and you're buying.
Are you nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off her toes, didn't I? Now I told you.
Well, she's so far off her balance you can't tell her from a cat boat in a hurricane.
You listen here, Buster Brown. I come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not leaving without my commission. Now beat it. Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in this music business. Now, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you?
Yes, but we don't really have to get to that now, do we?
No, we don't, or ever for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh, about what?
Oh, about Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05.
Why, there's certainly
Because
was.
the town wasn't even built until '06. See, it's sociable.
You knew the whole time.
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, and I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I oompahd up and down the square.
Good night, someone, good night, my love.
With 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets played the air,
I wish I may and I wish I might. So good night, my someone, good night.
Greg! This guy's crazy! He's going all over town spilling everything!
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train. Probably lost my job. But I got you now, Bill, and you're gonna pay. You'd be in the clink right now if it wasn't for that piano teacher. I told her all about you, and what'd she do? Lollygagged me around till I couldn't get the shin. Little dried up, man-hungry doxy, round-heeled fizz gig. Get out of here or I'll kill you, you little dirty mouths. You bully! You big blow-off! I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Or you never knew the territory!
Greg! I got your stuff! Come on, let's go!
you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now, this minute. There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister. And yours, madam. And yours, little lady. Ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. There never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now, like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you all believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
Money back? I want his hide.
Yes. After him. And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse.
Yeah!
After
I've been looking for Winterpiece right away. Please go, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now go, please.
Ah! Greg! He's not here! Right out by the creek!
Winthrop!
Now wait just a minute here, son.
I know you're done. Leave go me.
Not until you talk to me for a minute.
I won't listen. You went down the tube anyway.
I would too.
Why not?
I would too. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Let me go, you big liar!
Now what's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? No, I'm bigger than you, so you're gonna sit here and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. Now there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a great kid. I thought so from the start. That's why I wanted you in the band. Just so you quit moping around and stop feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, now that I think about it, that's really none of your business.
I with you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised
I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said it would. The flags, the colors, the symbols, the lights.
Where was all that?
And the way every kid in this town walked around while sober and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents too. Does Mama wish she'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I've finally got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Greg! Greg! They're here! Come on! That way! That way!
So that way.
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. Yes, and always remember, fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore.
What have you done to get our money?
That professor's collected nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
And we haven't even seen the uniforms.
He's slippery, I told
Well, I
you.
haven't seen a uniform, or my boy either, since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Fine situation here.
407 years ago, our Just a minute here. If virtue has triumphed, the sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Yeah, tar feather 'em!
Well, I think that there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember what River City was like before Harold Hill came here. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to this town. And if so, I should think you'd like to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there isn't a single man in this hall who doesn't think this man, Hill, should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You lately, sit down! And the rest is standing there like a cone of Shropshire sheep! Have you people forgotten how you bought high-priced uniforms, technical instruction books, and expensive band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children will be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band? Think, men. Think.